Welcome to Milers, Mazers, and Gentlemen. So, a friend of mine, Joshua France, finally, after a couple different iterations, perfected the acusabre. Okay, so let's start off with what we know. I've got three different versions of this product. Okay, this was the very first version. Okay, right here. Now, what this is this is like a rifled scar in a way. Okay, now the weird thing about this instrument here, if you will, the tip, is that on some blasters it will allow you to build FPS. Granted, you're only going to get about 10, maybe 15 extra FPS out of it, okay? Which is good. You know, a lot of blasters, this will give you just a little bit more, not much, okay? But in the very beginning, this was the original version that came out. This was just a one-piece design, and it was designed to friction fit over your 16 millimeter or your brass barrel, okay? Now, later down the road, he came out with this. This is the version 2. I disliked this version. I'll be upfront and honest with you. I did not care for it. I would have much rather have had this one. Okay? Reason being is, this is the second version, okay? This is a two-piece job, okay? This piece separates from here, and again, it was friction fit. I've blown this off many a times on blasters. I've actually put it on a blaster and been firing under game conditions, and it'll just work itself free. Okay. But yet the rifling technology and all still works. So what he came up with, that he came up with what he calls the final version. This is it right here. What this is that this is basically just like a locking collet, okay? Kind of like what Joe at Xbox Games does. And what he did for the acusabre itself, because it's the same rifling technology, is that he installed an O-ring back here. So that way you don't get any wiggle or flex like you did with the second version, okay? And I wanted to show you guys something. Now notice I've got this thing from the tip of this, right? Look. This is not coming off. Okay? That's how nice this locking mechanism is. And it doesn't hamper performance. It increases performance. You know, I mean, it's really a phenomenal piece. And this right now is $16 on Etsy. And I know you guys are going to say, well, $16 for a 3D printed piece is a lot. And normally it is, and I've been the first to agree with you. But however, I'm going to put you down with a little bit of knowledge. The guy that makes these, Joshua France, he's not doing this for a business. He's doing this for his hobby. He's also doing it to help the hobby. You're going to say, well, what do you mean by help the hobby? How is he going to help the hobby? Is he going to give the parts away for free? No. No, he's not. But yet, everybody that buys one of these tips with the barrel collet system, you know, the final saber as it's called, the proceeds from the sales of this and a lot of his other products, they actually go back into the community. And what I mean by that is that he's in Pennsylvania. He actually takes the proceeds from his sales and he gives it to the Pennsylvania Nerf clubs in there. You know, the club in Altoona. You know, the club in Pittsburgh. You know, all those clubs in PA. He supports them. Okay, and he uses he uses the money from this hobby to help support the clubs. You know, whether if that's nothing more than buying magazines or darts or whatever, you know. But that's what he's doing. Every dollar that you spend with this man on this product here is going to support local PA clubs. That's probably the best reason in the world why I can give you to buy something like this. Is that you people always say, well, support the community, support the community, support the community. Here's a chance for you to put your money where your mouth is. Okay, it's $16. Okay, think about what $16 can actually buy. Okay, for $16, you can get a 200 count pack of darts. Okay, so for, let's say, every one of these you buy, you're basically buying a club in PA a pack of darts. or a couple mags or something like that, or some inflatables or whatever, you know. But my point is, if you guys are going to invest in something, and support the community, products like this are should be at the cornerstone of your thinking, because it's going to support local clubs that don't have much. That's to me, that means a ton of things. If you're willing to support a local community and a local club, then who is not famous or whatever, and you do it out of the goodness of your heart, that makes you a good person. That makes you feel good too about it. I mean, it's just that simple. But as I said, though, what this is again is it's just an acusabre. But however, this collet system is fabulous. I know I know he has a couple different attachments for this too. Such as a buckshot and a Mega XL and all that. And I'm gonna try those, absolutely. I mean, but this right here, to me, the final version of this is actually better than this one, and this was the original Gen 1. Okay, but this thing here, that one was not. The second version was not very good. I did not care for it. The resin version of this was nice, but when it came down to it, this one had a problem. It would flex and wobble, okay, on your barrel. That was the whole problem with it. And you would blow the tip off after so many shots, because no matter what you did, you couldn't get it to stay on your barrel permanently. This, it'll never come off. Never. And again, nothing. And I'm yanking on as hard as I can. I've shook the blaster. Now, I will tell you, I tried this on my Sabre, okay? And the locking mechanism is good, but it's not good enough to hold an 8-pound Sabre. Just saying. But most people who are going to use things like this, they're not going to be running Sabres. They'll be running something like this, or maybe a Harrier, or something like that, or maybe the Wicker Kunin. But this thing, for what it is phenomenal. And this thing has a speed rating, and keep in mind, I was the original product tester for this product, okay? So that should say something as well. What I experienced through the different versions of this is that these were good right up to about 300 FPS. After 300 FPS, they got a little wonky. Okay, that's why most people, when they shoot at 300, they either have a really nice bearing scar or they'll use a string scar. Okay, but for 300 FPS and below, these are actually pretty good to use. And they're definitely well worth it. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put a buy link in the description below for Joshua Francis Etsy store, so that way you can pick up one of these and support the clubs in PA. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Milo Smont signing off.